Okay, so let's talk about the balanced force. First phenomenon of string example was balanced force, and unbalanced force means when there are two forces, okay, and one force is of greater amount or greater strength, I can say. Then the motion will be in the direction of the greater force. Okay, so let's quickly read the text. Balanced forces acting on an object which does not change the state of rest or of uniform motion of its are called the balanced forces. Balanced forces does not make a change, okay, because it is balanced. Okay, because it is balanced, both forces are equal, okay, or I can say that it is in equilibrium. Okay, so it does not make any kind of change. But an unbalanced force can make a change. So the resultant, see, I'm reading the text. The resultant of two opposite forces acts on an object and bring it in motion. These opposite forces are known as unbalanced forces. Okay, so after that there is a force which is known as friction. Okay, so what is a friction? See, friction is a force between two surfaces that are sliding or trying to slide across each other. Friction is a force between two surfaces, okay, between two surfaces that are sliding or trying to slide across each other. Friction always works in the direction opposite to the direction in which object is moving or trying to move. Consider an example, okay? Consider an example of bicycle, and you are driving a bicycle on a road. Suppose the road is very smooth, okay? So on a smooth road, you will not find any kind of difficulty. Okay, you will not find any kind of difficulty to drive that bicycle or something. Suppose it is a two-wheeler, okay, and you have to drive the two-wheeler, and suppose there is so much rough surface, or the road is very rough, or it is not that smooth. So you will feel some constraints, or you may feel some some external agents that makes your motion slow, okay, on rough surface. Okay, so friction is a force which acts between two surfaces. So in example of two-wheeler, the friction force is a force which acts between the surface of your vehicle, the surface of your wheels, that is the two-wheelers. Suppose it is two-wheelers, so the friction force will work between the surface, that is the wheels of that particular two-wheeler, and the surface of the road. It works between two surfaces. Okay, keep it in your mind. Now friction always works in the direction opposite to the direction in which the object is moving or trying to move. So when there is no constraints, suppose there is very smooth road, so you can drive your two-wheeler very easily. You will not find any kind of difficulty. So the difficulty is zero. That means the friction is very less. Okay, the friction is very less. But when similar road is very rough surface, or I can say that there are so many constraints are there, so you will definitely find some kind of difficulty to drive the two-wheeler. So the friction amount is greater. Okay, the amount of friction force is greater, and it always tends to slow down the motion. You have to remember that. Now friction always slows the moving down object. I have already told you. Now the first law of motion. Okay, see, in case of Nobita, in case of Nobita had a tendency that mathematics is a worthless subject and he is not interested at all. Okay, he is not interested at all, but an external force has applied by his father. That means he scolded him. So after that he has bring a change in his brought a change in his studies. Okay, so now the first law of motion is based on that tendency. See, an object, in Nobita's case, Nobita is the object. Okay, so he had a tendency, or he had a belief that he was not interested at all in mathematics. Okay, so this is a tendency. Okay, so every object has a tendency that if an object is in state, it will remain in that particular state. If an object is in a state, it will remain in that object until the external force has applied. Okay, so see, it is written here that an object remains in a state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that state by an applied force. So we apply a force, an external force, okay, that if we want to change the state of that object, if the object is in rest or if it is in motion, then to change the state of that particular object, we have to apply an external force. Okay, so the first law of motion says that an object, listen carefully, an object remains in a state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line. Okay, unless compelled to change that state by an applied force. Okay, so to change that state, we need a force. Okay, so to change the state, whether it is of motion, okay, whether it is of motion or it is stable or at rest, okay, we have a force, external force, that is needed to change that particular state. In case of Nobita, when father scolded him, it acts like an external force that changed the state of Nobita. Okay, now this is also known as law of inertia. Okay, so this property, or I can say the tendency is known as the inertia. Okay, so this first law of motion is also known as the law of inertia. Okay, so another example, you can say that a passenger traveling in a bus. Okay, so when we travel in a bus, when bus suddenly stops, the bus suddenly stop, we fall backwards to the bus. Okay, so this is the example of inertia. Okay, now inertia and mass. If an object, so inertia and mass, the mass of body and the inertia. Okay, so we will study that if these two quantities are related to each other or not. So listen carefully. If an object is at rest, it tends to remain at rest, and if it is moving, it tends to keep moving. This property is called inertia. Okay, so remember that if an object is in rest, it tends to remain at rest, and if it is moving, it tends to keep moving. This property is called the inertia. Okay, so do all bodies have same inertia? See, heavier object have larger inertia because suppose you have to change the position of a car. Okay, so you have to apply the force, okay, an external force, and similarly you have to change the position of a train. So the train is an heavier is a heavier vehicle with comparison to the or I can say that it is an heavier object or heavier body with comparison to the car. Okay, so the larger inertia, the heavier object has more inertia because you have to do more efforts or you have to apply more force on the object which has more mass. Okay, so more heavier objects have larger inertia. Okay, you have to keep in your mind. Now second law of motion. Okay, what is second law of motion? So the second law of motion means when an unbalanced force applied on an object, listen carefully, when an unbalanced force applied on an object, its velocity changes, that is velocity gets an acceleration. When an unbalanced force is applied. Okay, okay, we'll continue this in our next lecture. Okay.